Guys, this is Varun, the drummer of Black and Pacifist, and I really want you to like, share, and subscribe to Chat with Venki. It's a great podcast.
I'm Varun. Welcome to another
Thank
episode
you,
of
thank
Chat
you.
with Venki. Like I was
Glad to
very
be here.
hesitant to reach out to bands in Bombay and band guys in Bombay.
Really? Why?
मतलब I don't know.
You
थोड़ा
are from Bombay, aren't you?
I am from Bombay, but see Bombay bands, especially the big guns, they've been from a long time. Like even when my band was active, Black. Signema, Demonic Resurrection. You guys are all the big guns. We used to come and watch your gigs. Then we were, okay, let's form a band. And so I was like, okay, let me build a bit of subscriber base, and then I'll approach you guys. So it was that way.
No, yeah. There is in the independent circuit. What is a big gun? Everybody
True.
is right on an
But
absolute scale. We are like very minuscule. So,
yeah, still like I
but
posted
yeah, I mean,
like
yeah,
Varun is
people
coming
have
to the podcast, and I got so many questions. Like people are like, ask him
really,
this. So you do understand
really
when I
that's
say
great.
big gun.
Sure. Maybe people have more curiosity about it because, yeah, I think all of us. I mean, I have not. Uh, I mean, I shifted to Bombay in 2013.
Mhm.
So, I mean, these guys have been like Black has been around for 14 years, and I've been in Black for half its age, 7 years. But I think all of us, this age group of people, Zignima, Black, Bhayanak Moth, we are all like we all started playing in 2005-6. So definitely maybe there's more experience of being in the independent scene. Yeah.
No, it's so fun. Like I know Black के बहुत गाने हैं, lot of songs, but one of my favorite is like I'm a bit old school, but not like the 15-year one, but Choices is my favorite music. Like
Dude, that's awesome. Like all the songs you like the single.
yeah, ये मतलब
That's great.
there is something वो connect better हुआ with that song. Like I could hear that
Sure.
song on loop.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. When you're making a song, you really don't know कि क्या होने वाला है. And most of the times it's always surprising क्योंकि हमें लगता है कि ये गाना चलेगा, ये नहीं चलेगा. And जो हमें लगता है नहीं चलेगा, कई बार वो लोगों का favorite होता है. So that's always a nice surprise.
So you thought ये लोगों का favorite नहीं होगा?
नहीं, I mean, choices में ऐसा नहीं था कि choices तो single था. Like generally when we are writing the album में we all have our picks, right? I think this is gonna resonate more. I mean, we like all songs we made, but obviously we all have our favorites कि ये लोगों को अच्छा लगेगा या ये hook पे people will go crazy.
But like,
But
isn't
sometimes
it the other
doesn't,
way?
yeah.
Like audience के perspective से, when you give me say an album of 10 songs, I have choices. Okay, not the song, but in terms choices.
Pun intended.
Pun
Pun
intended.
intended.
So उसमें
Yeah.
option मिल जाता है, so वो liking divide हो जाता है. See, you give me 10 songs, I'll be like, okay, I like this song also, I like this song also. But when you
Sure.
give me one
And I
song,
think,
then I love it.
yes, true. And I think that's also reflective of, because there are a lot of articles on it as well by now, which is that now it's reflective of how people are consuming music and how albums are becoming irrelevant and everybody just releases multiple singles. So obviously, क्योंकि album के लिए it takes an active investment from the listener, right? I mean, because then you want you start with track 1 and you listen to it through track 10. Although I wouldn't say like Black, like whatever I have made with Black, it's not like some bands have that concept album funda, right? The one song is floating into another. We don't really have that, at least in the album I work. But still, yeah, I think album is सीधा एक lot of volume that's going out, and you don't. I mean, only somebody who really has followed the band for a while will actually jump into it from an
Bombay का
album perspective.
Bombay के scene में at least you will get that. मतलब people follow here band properly. They listen to all the singles and everything.
True.
But
True.
बाहर
Yeah, I
के
hope
scene
so.
में
हाँ.
बाहर मतलब when you guys performed outside, what is the experience difference like when you perform in Bombay and when you perform outside Bombay?
I mean, these guys. So before I joined, these guys played much more outside.
अच्छा.
But whatever I have played outside, it's been great. Yeah, I think it's less to do with outside and inside, and it's more to do with the context of the performance. Like a college festival will be great, whether it's in Vasai or whether it's in Hyderabad.
Okay.
Or whether it's in Vileparle. You know?
Okay.
But if you play a hard rock show, it's equally sad in any hard rock.
Like that's so ironic coming from a band like Black.
I mean, Hard Rock Cafe shows. See, you have to give credit to Hard Rock Cafe because a lot of bands used to play a lot of shows there. But it is mostly it's a sad experience.
Let's not go there. मतलब बहुत हो गया. Everyone like
exactly.
वो मतलब अभी क्या ही बोले. It went. Blue Frog was much better, right? At least in that context.
For sure, yeah. Blue Frog was legendary. It's very funny because I only played one show in Blue Frog Bombay. Then I had just moved, and somehow we had a show with Black. But I've also played in Blue Frog Delhi, which has closed down now for a long time. But yeah, Blue Frog was legendary, and I've seen. Like I was there for that Control Alt Delete Metal edition. Like that was a mental show, yeah.
Control Alt Delete तो altogether revolution बना दिया in the whole indie scene.
I know
what you want.
In fact, Black played the latest edition in Roaring Farms just before the lockdown. When all this shit started, we actually had a great gig.
What are you doing with like unable to play? घर पे बैठ के कैसा चल रहा है?
So actually, right now I'm shuttling a lot between home as in Delhi is my hometown. So I'm shuttling a bit. Like 1 month I'll be in Bombay and then 3 weeks I'll be in Delhi. So whenever I'm in Bombay, I keep playing. I have my drum kit at home, and honestly, the Black guys, we have started jamming also a little bit.
Yeah, I just realized I haven't introduced
We are not.
you.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Slowly people will get to know.
नहीं मेरा podcast तो मतलब musicians के लिए ही है, तो मेरा audience they understand कि okay ऐसे ही चलने वाला है. There is no ऐसा कुछ interview नहीं होता, तो ये अपने flow में ही चलेगा. So welcome guys. We have Varun Sood, the backbone of Black and Pacifist. Beyond everything about all the drumming, that's all side. He is mainly an author. You should read his Facebook post to understand the level of literature he posts on.
I'm a literature aficionado, but I'm not an author. Not yet.
Not yet. मतलब लिखने का इरादा है.
Hopefully someday. Yeah, hopefully someday.
What will you write out?
I mean, I guess I want to write a novel.
On what? But what is the context? What genre?
That is, I don't know, about life, I guess. Yeah.
Something like Jack Kerouac.
In mind. That is so true. I love that guy. Like him and Charles Bukowski, and I don't know if you've heard of Cormac McCarthy. Have you seen No Country for Old Men? Have you seen that film?
No, but I will now.
Yeah, it's a great film, and he is like the novelist behind it. Like he's one of my favorite authors. So,
wow.
So yeah, I mean, definitely, and it's not like you need to be inspired by musicians for your music. You can be inspired by any sort of artist. So it's very very cross inspirational for me. Like I don't necessarily I can read something and I can be inspired in music as well. At least that's how I like to think of it.
I have one doubt. Like I went through your profile and stuff before getting on the podcast. People either identify them as a cat person or a dog person. You have both pictures in your profile. What are you?
So, I'm actually a very animal person. I can even have a pet tarantula if I could.
No, dude. Those are poisonous. You're not supposed to pet
No,
them.
tarantulas actually, a lot of people keep pets, tarantulas as pets.
Seriously?
I mean, they are, yeah. It's like one of the well-known weird pets. Of course, it's not like a conventional pet,
Uh,
but people do keep them in like these big glass chambers. Yeah,
so you're originally Punjabi, right?
correct.
So can you speak Punjabi?
No, I can understand it. I can understand it because my grandparents used to talk a lot of Punjabi. When my parents used to talk to my grandparents, also they use Punjabi. But I really have no. I have a very urban identity, which means I have no real cultural identity.
Damn, I was hoping to give you a task on that one. Like ये थोड़ा ऐसा trend बन रहा है मेरे podcast का where like, of course there is someone very regional language. I asked them to describe their band in the language. So if you have to describe Pacifist as a band in Punjabi, how would you? Come on, give it a try.
I mean, I would use the most common word which everybody knows, which is chak de fatte. Yeah.
The generic of generic.
Yeah, because that's the only Punjabi I really know.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it'll be very difficult to. It's like when you hear it, you can make out the words because you have just heard it as a kid, but you have never really used it. So it's like that. Most of my life, I've just grown up in like these government quarters in Delhi, where you have everybody. So it's just like Hindi and English. Yeah, that's all.
But Delhi तो वैसे भी किसी का नहीं है. मतलब there is no one called Delhiite.
Same. और बॉम्बे भी किसी का नहीं है. और मैं वहीं दोनों जगह रहता हूँ. तो मैं कहीं का नहीं है.
मतलब at least Bombay, the Koli people, they claim कि no, we are the actual Mumbaikars. Where like we were here.
Sure.
Maybe, but Delhi में ऐसा वो भी नहीं है. There is no one.
Delhi में वो भी नहीं. Delhi is truly, we don't have any regional pride.
But Delhi है.
Which is a good thing in a way, because in India pride leads to unnecessary violence eventually.
But I love this cabbies man from Delhi. Like they say some of the weirdest stuff, and like one of the things that I hated was he said, "Sir, Delhi है दिल वालों की, मुंबई है पैसे वालों की." मैं बोला किधर बता, हमको तो नहीं मिल रहा।
और क्या मुंबई में पैसे वाला जाता है कि पैसे खत्म हो जाए रेंट दे दे के।
But yeah, Delhi, one thing I loved is like they have like huge houses, man. You rent a house there, you get a huge house, and वो पैसे में तो मुंबई में one room kitchen भी नहीं मिलेगा।
Yeah, that way I'm quite spoiled because I've always stayed in a government flat because my mother works for a government hospital, and so there's so much greenery and you can see how green it is.
You're in Delhi now? I thought you're in Mumbai.
No, I'm in Delhi now.
Oh wow!
I'll be back in Mumbai by some early November. Abhi I am in Delhi.
Then how do you manage jammings and stuff? Like when the pandemic was not there?
No, of course. When I am actually abhi I have had to travel a little more because one of my parents isn't that well. But otherwise, I'm in Bombay only for most part.
Actually. But anyway, Pacifist is also Bombay based and Black is also Bombay based. So
correct. Pacifist maybe in fact right now because of the pandemic, two of the guys have shifted back to their hometowns, which is Pune.
Okay.
But yeah, essentially both Bombay bands.
You planning to settle in Bombay or Delhi ka roots nahi chhutega?
To be honest, I like being in Bombay more as a city. I'm bored of Delhi.
Hey,
it's home.
All Delhiites, Bombay 1, Delhi 0.
No, but there are always very divergent opinions on this. Like but I think people who don't like Bombay, they come to Bombay and then they very quickly leave because in 6 months they are like, "Mujhse nahi ho payega."
The life is so fast.
Exactly, and I have been in Bombay for 7 years, so I am totally conditioned with that quick mindset, and it's actually very difficult to then go to a laid back place.
मतलब एक चीज है, मतलब there is no hatred. मतलब दिल्ली वाले बॉम्बे बोलेंगे हाँ दिल्ली बेटर है, बॉम्बे बोलेगा हाँ बॉम्बे बेटर है, बट हाँ ठीक है तुम लोग सेकंड हो, इनके साथ तुम लोग सेकंड हो बस.
हाँ, मुझे कोई ऐसा हेटेड नहीं है। मैं बैंगलोर भी रहा हूँ 3 साल लाइफ में।
Wow.
मुझे बैंगलोर में इतना वाइब नहीं आया, oddly. Lot of people love Bangalore, I know.
True,
In
but
fact, lot of Bombay people shifted to Bangalore. I mean, some of the people I know, but I, matlab, for whatever reason, I've liked Bombay the most in Indian cities. Even though you'll bitch about it, life is shittier. There is more struggle. You live in more chaos, but there is something about it which you like also.
I think it's convenience. You can get
For sure.
anything. You
It's
name it.
convenience, and yeah, and there is some inherent professionalism in everybody, you know. From the rickshaw guy to any service people. Like in Delhi, that's notorious. Like in Delhi, there are people out to scam you. You don't feel that in Bombay that much, really.
Okay, I'm proud in a way, but I want to put it a different twist. Maybe they are better scammers. You don't feel you're scammed.
True. And scammers will be there everywhere, but I like the speed in Bombay, and I like the non-judgmental. क्योंकि बॉम्बे में किसी के पास टाइम ही नहीं है तुम्हें जज करने का. बस मेरे रास्ते से हट जाओ.
भाई मेरे को जाने दे. तू खड़े रहे. तेरे को जो करना है कर इधर. But let me go.
Yeah. So I like that attitude.
But that's true, and the best you can see this is in local trains. They have a system, untold, declared law. This is how you're supposed to travel. You have to stand here. You have to get around this station. You better get up now.
Yeah, and you always learn it the hard way when you start off.
True. And like the best thing about that is say even if at peak hour, if a female gets into a general dabba, they will give her enough space to stand. Okay, आप इधर आप खड़े रह लो, बाकी सब धक्का मुक्का करते रहेंगे, but इनको कोई त्रास नहीं देगा.
In fact, I have a very funny story. The first time I came to Bombay was when I was in engineering, and me and my few friends of mine, we had a Bombay Goa trip. Okay. So we took a train, and we didn't take the Rajdhani. It was like this time pass train जो कहीं तो पनवेल के पास रुक गई. सुबह 8-9 बजे, और फिर हम लोग ऐसे जोश में, अरे दादर तक जाना है, हमारे पास अटैची है, मतलब we had suitcases. There was this one genius who had gotten a वो ब्लैंकेट का सूटकेस होता है ना, वो भी था उसके पास.
अच्छा.
और वो लेके हम लोग जोश में पनवेल सुबह 8:30 चढ़ गए ट्रेन पे.
अबे यार क्या कर रहे हो.
उसके बाद जो हमारी लगी ना, हम लोग सूटकेस लेके ऐसे खड़े हुए, लोग हमारे ऊपर हंस रहे हैं कि तुम लोग कहाँ आ गए हो, और कंपार्टमेंट बिल्कुल ऐसे खतरनाक भर गया है. डेडली था वो. That was my first मतलब बॉम्बे घुसना was in a local train actually, लाइफ में पहली बार.
But did you manage to get her at the right station?
Yeah, we got off at Dadar somehow. With our luggage. Our luggage was literally floating on top.
But you were lucky you were getting out at Dadar because it gets empty there. So उतरना possible है दादर में.
But यार अगर पनवेल से आ रहे हो तो imagine करो क्या भीड़ रहेगा पहुंचते हुए.
My goodness.
And you know, earlier what I used to feel was that like now that I've explored Bombay around, then now I know. But earlier I always used to feel, चल ये भीड़ वाला एरिया है, इसके बाद ट्रेन खाली हो जाता होगा. लेकिन ऐसा कभी नहीं होता बॉम्बे में. मतलब वसाई से ही विरार में ट्रेन पूरा भर गया है.
अरे पूरा. एंड वो वैसे विरार का तो और भी है ना कि अगर तुमको विरार उतरना तो वो ट्रेन पकड़ो, बीच वाले पे नहीं आने का, हम उतरने देंगे नहीं. तो मतलब वो सब अलग ही है.
In fact अभी recently I got myself this amazing percussion instrument called the handpan.
I saw.
Yeah, so for that the guy who makes handpans lives in Ambarnath, so actually I had to drive to Ambarnath. वो भी एक adventure था.
Why drive, man? ट्रेन जाता है वहां तक.
नहीं, but I wanted, it's a fragile instrument and I wanted to be careful. But yeah, it's huge, man. It's even Kalyan, all these places are equally crowded. It's not like you suddenly find yourself with less traffic, you know.
नहीं बहुत बेकार है. And the worst part is when you go to Kalyan, you have to cross Dombivli.
True.
And that is
Bhiwandi also.
Bhiwandi तो मतलब उधर train station नहीं है, वो तो छोड़ ही दो. वो एक that's a good thing for that place. But Dombivli is the ultimate thing. I know. Like you, based on what time you are getting in, people will automatically push you in the train and get you out. If in the evening, if you
Yeah,
don't want to
true.
get down at Dombivli, doesn't matter. It's not up to you.
Huh.
People will make sure you get out.
No, yeah, my serious salute to. I think all guys in Bombay, like generally people in Bombay are harder because they have just like gone through the train routine. You know,
True,
it
true,
makes you a man. It's
true.
like a coming of age ritual.
But based on this, like last year I was in Paris for a month, and there's this
Nice.
colleague of mine. We were traveling the metro, and कुछ नहीं खाली था मतलब for
हाँ.
him when he said कि ट्रेन बाहर है मतलब सब सीट फिल है, कोई खड़ा नहीं.
Right. Yeah.
तो खाली है. So it's like, oh, it's all full nowadays, and he was all bitching about it. बोला okay, I showed him a video of a P-car Mumbai. I just searched P-car Mumbai local train. I gave it to him. And he was like, dude, there's like 1 million people. They have no idea. अरे कुछ नहीं.
Yeah.
But वो है. And you get bored also. If you're accustomed to Bombay ना, तुम बाहर जाके ऐसा chill नहीं रह सकते. But coming back to your engineering, you did engineering from IIT Roorkee. Then you did management from IIM.
Yeah.
And now you're a drummer.
True. Yeah.
Why? Why?
That's $1 million question. I ask myself every day.
But you could have gotten what, like some 7-figure salary, man.
Yeah, man. I think I got. So I'm a late starter. First of all, like obviously people start drums when they're kids. You know, I started drumming when I was like 21 years old. I started playing when I was in 2006. Is when I kind of got into it. Before that, so for a lot of time in my engineering, I was like a very avid listener, like a fan of music, like, you know, going to every concert and looking at a lot of drummers and everything. So, you know, it's like the seed was definitely planted back then. And I don't know, I think when I went to IIM is when that transition happened, because I kind of really, I found myself to be like a misfit there in some ways.
All the management
actually
guys.
I actually really enjoyed my IIT days. In fact, I was like 5th, 6th in my class or all. Like I was studying also.
You posted also na 99 percentile CAT score.
हाँ, वो तो CAT का था. वो तो अच्छा. हाँ, मतलब उस time पे I still used to take. When music happened is when I totally left studying, which happens to a lot of people, right? Honestly, because you have discovered something that you really love doing, right? Before that, you're just going with the flow. कि ठीक है, पढ़ना है तो पढ़ लेते हैं.
यार ये नहीं होता. पढ़ना है तो पढ़ लेते हैं. मैं कोई 99 percentile score नहीं करता. मतलब
sure. Yeah, I mean, we certainly both, me and I have a younger brother. He's also from IIT.
यार देखो मतलब क्या ही चल रहा है. कोई सीक्रेट बता दो लोगों. इधर लोग मर रहे हैं. IIT में नहीं जाना है, मिल रहा है करके.
बस यार हम लोग थोड़े एकेडमिक पुश था. मतलब ऐसा नहीं था कि घर पे कोई प्रेशर था, बट both my parents are doctors, and generally we were also of that mindset of just you have to study, you know. And actually I like studying more than I like working. I think working sucks way more than studying.
So you're into research what?
Exactly. In fact, the work I do right now is also very research focused. So basically, as I just coming back to my point, it's just that I didn't like, I just felt that this is an unending rat race, you know. It's like now if I get a big, like you start wherever you go, like after an IIM also. If you join a consulting firm, you'll become an associate.
Right.
If you join an investment bank, you'll become an analyst. Or if you join a private equity group, you'll become an analyst. And then you see, then the analyst is talking about now he wants to become associate vice president, you know.
Something like
that. The associate is talking about now he wants to become an engagement manager. So the cycle is really unending, you know. And I realized that a lot of people, I realized that for me, music is not going to be just a phase. So that was a big realization for me. Because then you realize that the challenge of still pursuing anything creative comes when, you know, when normal adult life takes over. When you're in college, when you're young, you have all the time in the world to do everything. It's when these things also come into the picture, when you have to start prioritizing what do you want to do. And I knew always that I want to prioritize this. So it's, as I said, it's not like I don't work. I'm a drummer, but I work for a startup which is in finance, in portfolio management.
Capital.
Correct. So I work for that. It's like a startup. It's just 3 people, and I'm one of the co-founders.
Okay.
So it's a small company, but the thing is, you always have 2 options. Whether life will decide what time you give to things, or whether you decide you want to give this time to things, and then you structure your life accordingly. So I just took the latter route, and that means sacrificing maybe a higher salary, or maybe not. Like, I'm not that ambitious in a corporate side. I'm happy if I pay my rent and if I get good amount of time to play music.
And the byproduct,
there is a chance,
great skin and looking young.
True. Yeah, that's a byproduct of like not getting married and having kids, I suppose. No stress. So that's true, man. You take these decisions, and I like that fact. I like a no stress life. Responsibilities increase stress. Responsibilities mean you won't have time to play music like the way you do. And at least so far in life, I like that option. So like in my job, I have the option to work from home. So I can, if I'm working on something, I can just, मेरा मन करता है कि अभी मेरे को सुबह 11:30 बजे drums बजाने हैं, तो मैं बैठ जाऊंगा 15 minutes, and then I'll come back to my work. So I like that. That is a luxury for me. I cannot and now I'm totally not conditioned for punching in from 9 to 5. I find that very absurd as a life principle, to punch in anywhere. So hopefully I don't have to ever do it. I'm happy living a simpler life, but still being able to play music. Like, if you get the opportunity to tour,
you should be able to.
And if your company doesn't give you leave, then what? Like, many people take that decision कि मैं नहीं कर सकता. So for me, that's not an option. For me, it's like नहीं करना है. So then you just make those choices, but at the same time, I'm not like, it's good to have a day job. I think it's good to utilize both sides of your brain. This also you observe that sometimes when you look at musicians, they are so dumb about anything else other than music. And if you meet corporate people, they are so dumb about anything creative. It's good to have some exposure to the entire world,
But at some point of time, the practicality has to kick in. Of course, like
it does.
Musicality to करना ही है, but you, like you said, you don't have to run behind salary, but basic rent pay करना, तुम्हारा basic चीजों के लिए तो करना पड़ेगा.
तो वो मैं करता हूँ. And dude, of course, it's also circumstances. See, I have been fortunate enough position that I am not like the sole breadwinner of my family, right?
Right.
My parents are self-sufficient. We're not like super rich or anything, but self-sufficient. So I have to earn for myself.
Right.
If I was in a situation कि घर पे मेरे को ही पैसे कमाने हैं, तो शायद मेरा outlook बहुत अलग होता.
Right. But तो वो है. Is this a question regarding like you said, एक corporate बंदा, एक associate को अगला manager बनने का सोचेगा, फिर senior manager सोचेगा. But as an indie musician, being a part of a band, being an artist, what do you look up to as your next thing as an artist?
I definitely want to play more shows, and I have not played abroad yet. I want to play a tour, go for a tour with either one of my bands. I think with Pacifist also, we are trying hard to promote and send our music to a lot of publications and labels abroad. So that is definitely a thing. But I just like the process so much that I enjoy the process of making songs and making albums. So now I was just in fact thinking previously. So far, I have been a part of writing and recording around 15-20 songs. So I just want that to keep going up. Have a good body of work as a drummer. Recently, there's a Delhi musician with whom I recorded his album. Basically as a sessions artist. So sometimes I take up these session projects as well. If I really like the music itself, then I'm happy to be part of it.
But let me pose a question for you then. Say Precipice kicks off or Black kicks off, any of the band kicks off, both of the band kicks off. Let's be very optimistic there. And at some point, you get a choice to either be a part of band, because see, maybe at some point the band will also give you financial stability as well. And at that point, if you have to choose, you can continue with your band full time and maybe leave your day job then. Where do you go?
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
Actually, with my day job also, I'm kind of attached because I'm like part of the co-founding team. So I would like to, otherwise I would have. If I had a drop of a hat, I would have quit. If it was like some MNC or something, then I wouldn't have cared. Sure. But abhi, I've been part of this company since it started from zero. So I like being there. So
I think you will have some benefit also, na? मतलब now you are being co-founder. अगर इतने साल में company को settle हो गया, you are a founder, man. You can take a leave whenever you want for that matter.
हाँ. वो तो है ही. तो वो तो मतलब that, as I said, that is part of me trying to structure my life so that I have time to do these creative things. That's all. And honestly, like I'm not that ambitious guy. That's why when people come to me for MBA advice, I'm like, don't ask me. Because
मत करो MBA.
They are coming from because they are coming from a very different mindset, So it's very difficult to tell people, dude, I'm not ambitious. I just like doing less work and just getting by as long as I'm just able to play music.
my audience people like, अच्छा मतलब MBA करने के लिए MBA करने की इच्छा नहीं होनी चाहिए.
उस टाइम पे there was nothing else to do, so I was like, might as well just give this exam and then
score a lot of marks, get into IIM, just like that. Like, man, come on, like,
yeah,
you are the Ranchod das Chanchad, man.
but then IIM wasn't like the most pleasant of experiences for me, because it's really in an IIT you can really chill out, like.
Really?
You really can, unless you're in a branch, like for example, I've heard IIT Kanpur का computer science department बहुत खराब है, वहाँ पे लगे रहती है. But IIT, I was in Roorkee, and Roorkee was a super chill place, dude. Like literally, you don't have just अपना exam से पहले 3 दिन पहले थोड़ा सा पढ़ो.
Hey, but this is now you are getting into that super intellectual thing, man. मतलब you will able to manage studying within 3 days and scoring exam. बाकी लोग के लिए थोड़ी होता होगा, उनको तो पढ़ना पड़ेगा ना.
अरे बाकी लोग भी तो IIT में ही है ना.
हाँ, वो भी है, सब super scholar ही है. तुम लोग सभी क्या है बोलेंगे तुमको?
No, I would honestly say that there are 5% people in IIT who are truly of a higher intellect. Like you can tell कि ये बंदा मतलब उनका जो मैथ्स और फिजिक्स का ओवरऑल कॉन्सेप्ट्स है, दे आर ऑन अ स्लाइटली मोर एलिवेटेड प्लेन. अदरवाइज मोस्ट पीपल आर जस्ट पीपल जिन्होंने कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट में रगड़ाई करी 11th-12th में, राइट? जैसे मैं था.
अच्छा,
राइट. हाँ, तो आई जस्ट रगड़ाउड एंड आई गॉट थ्रू.
Is it true or you're just being humble?
No. I am not trying to like downplay it. I really think that it's more about your willingness to gissify than intelligence. And the honest truth is that most people don't gissify it in 11th, 12th, right? People, I discovered that later in life that I want to chill out. In 11th, 12th, I didn't want to chill out, right? So I was just studying. So
that time to realize that you want to chill out.
Yeah, true. Exactly. So that's what I say. Keep saying. That's why I said that I had to be in the rat race to kind of realize that it's a rat race. So, it's a trap. But it's cool, it's not like, it's also the question of, I mean, I'm grateful that I did it. It's not like it has destroyed anything.
No, true.
If anything, and it's a good experience, man, to live in a hostel. You know, these are good life experiences to have, of just living in the middle of a lot of students. Lot of Bombay musicians I meet have always only been in Bombay. So I kind of like the fact that I've been in different places and, you know, got the chance to do that. That always helps.
Coming back to Bombay and the musicians, then you have been performing for what now? 8 years? 8, 9 years? Live?
In Bombay.
In general?
Or overall?
In general?
No, in general, I've been performing since 2009 almost. 11,
Almost
10, 11.
over a decade. Over a decade now.
Yeah. So I started. So after my MBA, for 1 year I worked abroad.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Hong Kong.
Oh,
and
very nice place.
Nice place. That's where I bought my first drum kit. That's where I launched my YouTube channel. You know,
you have a YouTube channel.
Drummers. Oh yeah.
Let me check that one out now.
Yeah, dude. In fact, a lot of people in Bombay, the way I got into black was through that YouTube channel.
Oh.
Yeah. It's called Punjabi Drummer.
Yes, I found it. Deftones and Perpetual Black, Meshuggah, Dark Horse.
True.
Hey, you used to look so different, man.
Yeah.
Less hair on the head and more on the beard side.
True. The beard is gonna come back soon.
Like my question I was getting was, which was your best gig, performance-wise? Or just the fun thing?
Sure. Yeah, actually, one of the best gigs I played is recently with Pacifist. This was in February 2019. This is the first Pacifist gig, basically. And it was in a very tiny place in Thane called Studio 604.
Huh.
There is a guy called Karthik.
Karthik Nair.
Yes, Karthik Nair. And it was just such a mad show because it really kind of, it was the first show with Pacifist, so we didn't know how it's going to go. And it was such an intimate setting, you know. And literally, like, the band was moshing with the audience almost.
Wow.
I mean, I can't because I'm always sitting. And so it's a tiny place. So and Pacifist is, you know, a lot of hardcore punk kind of music. So it really kind of fit in very well with that venue. So that show I really enjoyed. Other than that, Black maybe once played in NIT Warangal. That was a great show.
Wow.
A lot of great shows. That's a very difficult question actually. Which was your favorite show?
No, that's you have to pick one. That's the point now.
Yeah. So I picked two. I picked one for each band basically right now.
You're being like, okay, देखो, दोनों band वाले शांत हो जाओ. मैंने देखा अच्छा choose किया दोनों के लिए एक.
Diplomatic.
Don't think this is why the management skills is coming out, man. मतलब I am इतना ही waste नहीं हुआ है. It taught you some good stuff.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. The most weirdest show. Like ये क्या चल रहा है सब?
The most weirdest shows that I've always played is in Hard Rock Cafe Pune.
Okay. Why?
Because nobody shows up. That's like the worst venue ever, basically, for me.
No one showed up.
HRC Pune. No one shows up. I mean, कुछ भी बजा रहे हो. And it's not with Black or with anything. Like I played tribute shows there, like Metallica tribute, Rage Against the Machine tribute, this tribute, that, and nobody comes. So actually, that's not the weirdest show, it's the saddest show.
I mean, like you're saying music lovers or just there's no one comes to eat also?
Nobody comes there, I feel, except for musicians. I find it to be a very fair. Yeah.
The best Hard Rock Cafe gig I saw was a recent gig, like 2019 only. A band from Kerala came in Bombay. Varli.
Avial?
Not Avial. Masala
Avial.
Coffee.
Oh, I've heard of Masala Coffee.
They play. They have their own style. They touch some regional stuff. They touch into folk and rock and everything. It's a very fun band. And
great.
I saw a whole Hindi Marathi mixed crowd trying to sing a Mallu song, and they asked for once more. And I was like, damn, man, this is some fun. And it was not like some pop. There were the guy with like I got him also on one of my podcasts, Varun Sunil. He plays djembe and he's a percussion guy. And he was killing it with the djembe solo, and the vocalist was all fun. The violinist came into the picture, and it was super fun. But I
Great,
like
yeah.
that.
I've heard of them. I'm not. Yeah.
They are good. They are good. But this raises also like the sad part about the band is the vocalist left now to pursue his solo career.
Oh.
And
Actually, that sometimes happens, especially with regional bands, right? Because regional bands, I think, have a closer relationship that at least one band member usually goes into the regional film industry of that region sometimes.
but even Bombay में भी तो हो रहा है. Like recently, Soham
Bombay में
started
भी
its
होता ही है.
own.
Yeah. Bombay में भी a lot of people compose for films and everything. Anand Bhaskar also now composes.
Anand Bhaskar तो altogether वो चला ही गया बंदा. He's touched some other level only now. Mirzapur, dude, क्या compositions, man.
हाँ, Mirzapur, I know. He's the music director, right?
Yeah, he did for Mirzapur. And great sound. Like forget the track, but कुछ intense scenes के time पे तो backing दिया है उसने, and some कुछ funny scenes.
अच्छा, scores and everything.
Scores and all, like I'm not sure what's it, Anand or what, but in short, I like the show also. But songs are of course great. Anand is, and Anand को तो MH04 तो मैं कब से Hey Ram and all. I loved the song from that time, and Anand ka.
I've known him since Anand Bhaskar Collective, not before that.
No, MH04. Hey Ram and all.
MH04 is a. Yeah, MH04 is a band.
There was a band. Yeah, because he's from Thane, and the graphic code for Thane is MH04.
Okay.
So, oh man, मतलब वो Anand Bhaskar is one of the initial guys. Like my band, we also were into a bit of classical rock style. So we used to follow all this, and we heard Anand Bhaskar and these guys. मतलब वो तो बहुत fun था. But Anand is such a character, man. I used to send him like, okay, what do you think about this track? And he used to send back reviews, brutally honest reviews. He will tell, okay, this section was amiss, and ये कचरा है, इसको निकाल. Clear बोल लेगा बंदा.
He is pretty brutal with his critique. Yeah, I know.
अरे उनको ही बुलाना है. Like I want to get him, but देखते बंदा free हो तो होना चाहिए.
Sure, you should.
बोलेगा वो मेरे को ही बोलेगा आके. क्या पॉडकास्ट चला रहा है करके. I don't know, एक थोड़ा डर है. So recently I posted on Instagram I told him like, okay, Varun from Black is coming, like Varun from Pacifist is coming. So I got questions.
Sure.
But the question is, who is your favorite drummer and why? But I want to get it to a bit more regional. Who is your favorite drummer from Bombay and why?
Okay. Who is my favorite drummer from Bombay? I mean, the thing is that guy is also my good friend. So I think my favorite drummer from Bombay is actually Mayank Sharma.
Mayank. He's too good, man. Like
he's super. Yeah. So you had also asked why, right? So I'll tell you why. Yeah. Because for me, drums is really like a very primal instrument, you know. So I like people who treat the drums like a caveman beating something. So for me, that's how I like to play drums as well.
You are too much into it. I've seen you live, man. You go berserk on the kid.
I'm not a gentle player, you know. I mean, I can, you know, it's like I can appreciate jazz players. I can appreciate somebody like Peter Erskine. I mean, he's like a superb drummer. But I don't approach the drums in a gentle manner. I like to be aggressive. So I like drummers who are powerful. Doesn't mean that their expression and they're just beating the hell out of the kit. Sometimes you know, to be a powerful drummer, you don't need to seem to be spending a lot of energy. Powerful drumming is just like, that is also an emotion in a way, to play powerfully.
And sometimes I feel the power is not just hitting it that loudly, but the way you hit it, it comes out.
Yeah, totally. It is about the way you hit it and the emotion behind it.
It was so fun. Like one, Mayank ka ek aur thing is like the way he plays complex stuff, but it doesn't sound that complex.
Exactly.
Does it
That's
so...
because, yeah. And I think it's really because Mayank, so my favorite drummer in the world is also Mayank's favorite drummer. So our influences are very similar.
Who?
Which is Thomas Hake from Meshuggah. You know, so I can see that influence in Mayank, and that kind of playing I really like, which is very fluid. Mayank draws a lot from Thomas Hake, I feel, because I do too. And you know, so that combination of very good fluidity with very powerful tribal grooves, you know. So like Zignima has a lot of tribal grooves, like your Theory of Lies and Negation, you know, that they're very hook, like there's a hook to it, like
very
so
groovy.
The drums, and the drums are part of the songwriting, very integral to the songwriting. So that also as a concept I really like, that you're using rhythm to make a point. It's not just an accompaniment, you know. Many times in bands the drummer is great, but you know, you can tell that it's a guitarist song,
right?
Like the melody guy is for sitting and made everything, whereas I like Mayank, I also like that idea that you are writing the rhythm and melody together.
And this raises an important question also. How do you write? Because anyway, most of the band's people who are composing, they sit with a guitar and a vocalist, they try to sing together, they get a melody, and then they think about something. Even if it's a rock song, they sit and they'll play power chord on an acoustic guitar, and then they'll compose and they'll convert. And how does a drum-based composition come into the picture?
Sometimes it does come that I will have an idea and I'll just save it till Ryan Hart, who is the guitarist of Black. So usually nowadays a lot of Black songs is me and one of the guitarists. It might be Ryan or might be Anish. Usually it's more Ryan because Ryan is also Vela, so he keeps coming to my house. And I'm also Vela, so we are like, chal, let's just make something. And then it's pure, like we are not, like I'm not a very technical, I like learning technical stuff on the drums, but when I'm trying to make music, I'm not technical at all. Like I'm not going for, check this is in 7 or this is in 5 or anything like that. We just play by instinct, and then he'll make something, then I'll layer something on top of it. And now I have my own V drums, which is connected to my laptop. So I have a basic but quite efficient recording setup to record demos quickly. So we'll just sit and very quick, whatever comes first to our head, we first just write it down, and then the refining process begins. But we like to first be totally spontaneous, and whatever 3-4 minutes of music is coming out, we'll just write it. We'll just put it on paper, so to speak. And I like that way of doing things, because I like that framework. I like to have a framework. I think as a drummer, your main job is actually, of course, keeping time is integral to the drums. But as a songwriter, the drummer's role is arrangement, you know. So, you know, कि अब verse आ रहा है या अब एक bridge आया. So you just get these rough ideas. And
so you compose the structure framework first, and then you fit the verse and all the melody along with it.
Exactly. I mean, if I'm writing, I'm obviously writing with one guy who is a melody guy. That way, melodically, I'm handicapped. Although I have a couple of instruments. I have a bass guitar at home, which I haven't learned a lot.
Yeah, but that's obvious, na? Matlab, har koi, they will not be on a composition perspective. Band mein, there might be everyone is good, but at some point there will be a leader who will be like, okay, let's focus this way. Let's give the shape to the song.
It's not even a leader wala thing. Like with me and Ryan, because now we have been writing music for many years. We feel like a team. So we don't... In fact, me and Ryan have our own project together called Dev Giant.
Oh, okay.
Which is like a duo project where, in fact, we have one hip-hop... Like, we released an EP of 3 songs. In fact, I should send you that link. That's also one of the things we worked on this year. We released it during the lockdown only.
Oh. You have posted about it on your social media?
Yeah, I did. But it's been a while. Maybe you hadn't checked back then or something. But basically what I was saying was that, like, he's like a team member, songwriting team member for me. So, you know, it's very complementary, because he needs somebody to give rhythm and I need somebody to give me a riff or some sort of a melody, and that's how you keep guiding the song forward. So that way is so we write in that sense. I'm not a solo writer of songs so far. I mean, maybe someday, but right now I always
I
rely
like
on
all
somebody
your
else.
points are like so far not yet. Like you have all the possibilities open कि कभी ना कभी कुछ तो कर ही लेंगे इसका.
Of course, why not?
Coming back, like any what is the upcoming stuff? Both Black and your Pacifist.
Sure. So just before lockdown started in February 2020, I went to a studio and in one day recorded 4 songs with Black.
Okay.
So there is an EP of Black that's pending.
Okay.
In November of 2019, Pacifist recorded 2 songs. Those singles are now about to come out.
Wow.
Quite excited about those. Yeah. Just a couple of singles, but it'll be my first recording with Pacifist. The previous EP of Pacifist was recorded by their previous drummer. So I'm kind of
When are you planning to release this Pacifist EP?
Pacifist won't be an EP necessarily. It's 2 singles. I don't think you can call it an EP. I don't know what you can call it, but yeah. I think it should be on its way by November, by December definitely.
Do let me know.
It's almost ready.
I'll try to get the entire band and we can talk about the EP and we can try and promote it.
Sure, that's great. I will let the band know as well.
Who manages the band Pacifist?
Abhi it's all self.
Self here.
Yeah, abhi self ही है, हाँ.
Black के लिए?
Black तो हमेशा से ही self है.
DIY band हमेशा से. It was so fun. Before you go, I'll take one more question from one another guy that I got.
Sure.
Do you feel drummers side में बैठ के कुछ तो बजा रहा है rarely gets camera on him? Do you feel like you don't get the spotlight नहीं मिल रहा है? ऐसा feel होता है क्या?
Feel नहीं होता, ऐसा ही है. Yeah, and if there is a smoke machine, then you're totally screwed. Because then you'll never be seen.
Yeah, but what do you think about this setup? Okay, get the drummer on the center and maybe the other guys around.
Yeah, I actually really like the setup when the drummer is on the side because then everybody is in front. There are 2 kinds of setups. One is that if the stage is kind of deep, then the drummer is at the back. That is the worst setup to get photographed. But if the stage is narrow, then usually the drummer is in line with the other people and is on the side. And the drum kit is also a little tilted. So I like that setup more.
तो मतलब फिक्स ही कर लो ना फिर. कुछ भी हो जाए, कोई भी सोचो मैं साइड में रहूंगा बोल देने का ना फिर ऐसा.
हाँ, हमेशा पॉसिबल नहीं होता है because of the stage. बट जब ऑप्शन मिलता है तो मैं बोल देता हूँ
कि नहीं मैं इधर बैठूंगा, तुम लोग को जो करना है करो.
Seriously, actually I don't have any. अभी तो चलो लॉकडाउन हो गया तो बहुत टाइम वैसे ही हो गया. बट बहुत टाइम से कोई ड्रमर फोटो नहीं है. कोई देखता भी हो तो पुराने हैं. Yeah, and the thing is that I play for 2 completely indie bands who play heavy music. तो वैसे ही फोटोग्राफर का बजट नहीं होता.
अरे यार. अरे बहुत बंदे हैं ना जो फ्री में बोला. They are into fan photography, music photography. They'll click.
That's true. Sure. But yeah, usually if you're playing a commercial gig, then you'll have fancier photos because there are fancier lights.
Obvious.
The symbols look beautiful. All that happens. There are many factors to getting a good drummer photograph, my friend.
Like you get annoyed by the whole thing of that. Being a guitarist, I have one question for all the things that a drummer does. Is it necessary to play the drums while the guitar is tuning? क्यों करते हो सब ड्रमर्स उसी टाइम पे क्या तुमको बजाना है? रुको ना 5 मिनट रुक जाओ, तुमको ट्यून करने दे दो.
हाँ, actually मेरा पॉलिसी ये होता है कि as soon as I am done with my sound check, I get off the drums because I will play if I am behind sitting on the drum set.
मतलब बैठ के तुम मेरे को शांत एक्सपेक्ट मत करो, मैं बजाऊंगा.
हाँ, but that's like a very natural thing. अगर मैं थ्रोन पे बैठा हूँ और सामने ड्रम किट है तो मैं ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि मैं नहीं बजाऊंगा. So I just get off the stage. You do your tuning and everything and then I'll come.
एक और क्वेश्चन है, what's the worst situation you remember as a drummer or as a musician?
Yeah, actually the worst situation as a drummer that has happened and does happen to many people is if the drum throne is bad.
Oh.
Because anything else you can still manage कि cymbal टूटा हुआ है या कुछ हुआ है, but if the drum throne is bad then you cannot freaking play. because you are like wobbly, the thing you're sitting on is screwed up. So that's always as a drummer, that's the most horrible experience. And of course, if you go to Hard Rock Cafe, then once I was playing like a Rage Against the Machine tribute, and in Hard Rock Cafe there is always one idiot who will come to you and say, please play Paradise City or some shit like that. Then you have to drive him away. So that has happened. But we've all been through it, man. When we have played at the start of our music careers, of ridiculous setups, especially in India, because people don't have a clue कि चाहिए क्या ड्रमर को.
नहीं, वो तो किसी को कुछ नहीं पता है.
हाँ.
And forget about drum tuning, तो अलग ही छोड़ दो. एक किधर चल रहा है. छोड़ दो. Drums हैं.
Drums हैं. Stand है. वो elemental questions need to be answered first.
पहले symbols में crack नहीं है. Symbol अच्छा है, condition ठीक है.
वो सब भी चलेगा. I just want, if I am sitting to have a snare, a kick drum, and a hi-hat, so I can play a beat at peace. Even if it sounds like shit, at least I can play.
If people have to find out what are the upcoming things coming from you, Pacifist in Black, where are you most active?
I mean, on my Facebook page, in the middle of the shit posts, you'll be able to find my band update.
यार वो shit post को तो अलग ही टॉपिक ही है. मैं वो अभी couldn't delve much into it, but यार वो तो अलग ही है. For all the listeners,
that is a topic for another day.
Facebook, follow, add him as a friend, do whatever, but read all this post that he posts. Oh my goodness.
Don't.
Come on, man. आज का तो अलग ही gem था. What did you post today?
No, don't.
How many of us have willingly abandoned entire stretches of our past just to forget one person? किसके लिए लिखा है वरुण? क्या था ये?
ये सबके लिए लिखा है. These are universal human truths.
No, but it seemed like इधर अंदर से आया है. Like, who is that one person?
अंदर से ही आता है यार.
नहीं. Who did you want to forget? Tell me that.
That's another topic, bro. We'll go offline for that.
Cool. Thank you so much, Varun. Thank you for your time. It was super fun discussing all this. Like, बहुत कुछ बात कर लिया यार. मतलब from Mumbai to Delhi to music scene to international scenes से favorite drumming, bad situations, good situations. काफी कुछ cover कर लिया. MBA, IIT.
Right. Yeah. And thanks for having me here.
So I have one last task for you. Probably the toughest task, I think. I want you to say like, share, and subscribe.
Hey guys, this is Varun, the drummer of Black and Pacifist, and I really want you to like, share, and subscribe to Chat with Venki. It's a great one.
Yeah.
Third take.
Perfect.
Cool, yeah.
Thank you, Varun, to be here. It was amazing talking to you of all the serious stuff. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Same here, yeah. Take care and see you.
Yes, stay safe.
You too. Bye.